Something has to pay, and it seems to be North American Counter-Strike, Jason. It's all your fault. He also said in there, Janko, that they're focusing on getting better in terms of more structure. And obviously that could and should help them in this tournament if they can pull it off.
It's nice to say that in theory, and that's what they try to do by switching to automatic as the in-game leader, and then that didn't work for, you know, the week or the 2 weeks that they tried it for a very short period of time, and that resulted in switching back to Stewie as the in-game leader. So that's something that you need to do in the time you have off, or the time that you're actually back home playing or whatever. Now they're in a position where they've had a couple of consecutive tournaments similar to what G2 has been through, so there is not really that much time for them to just sit down and practice and change things. That's why they switched to Stewie, because, you know, they realize they maybe don't have enough time as it is required to switch to that more structured style. So listen, we have so many like important tournaments coming up, let's just stick to what we know, stick to our old play style, and hope that that will get us over the hump.
He also mentioned composure in there, something you've brought up before as well, Jason.
Yeah.
Just composure in closing out games. Obviously the phase game springs to mind, but Stewie made a very good point in there. He feels that wasn't to do with a lack of ability or closing out the game. It was literally down to composure.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean the idea. Yeah, he's done some of that RSI issues in the past, hasn't he? Yeah, I mean the composure thing is more. I think part of it is when you get down to the wire and something's not working. That's when the structure of a team helps the most. Like tactically and just knowing what everyone's doing. When you're feeling the nerves and every decision you make has an impact, it's always nice to have like a system that you can rely on where it takes decision making away from you, right? Where it's just like, I know on this strat I'm smoking something and looking left, right? You know exactly what you're supposed to be doing, you know exactly what your role is, and Cloud9 doesn't play that style. So when they do come down to it, composure mentally they probably have, but it's the composure of the actual in-game settings and environment that they kind of struggle with.
There is, of course, another team involved in this match, and it is a team who have been slightly underwhelming so far. They do have a set of stars in the team, no less so than the man called Schneider. Let's hear from him now.
I'm Schneider from GODSENT. Compared to last year, I mean, it's a completely different lineup. It's like 2 new players in this team. It's hard to say. We obviously had our troubles in this team as well, but I think we're about to solve the issues. So we're here and we're hoping for the best. We swapped RDL for Messioso, and I think already he has brought a lot of more structure to us, because we were a bunch of kids sometimes. I think it's pretty normal in CS teams, and we didn't. Our coach wasn't really good at controlling the personalities, maybe. So I think he will mostly bring structure that we need, but also during this tournament he will bring a lot of analytical depth for sure, because he's been watching CS probably longer than I've been existing now, but he will bring a lot of for sure. He's very good to work with for Pronex. He hasn't really had anyone to like back him up with thoughts and ideas, but I know Messi also can, and he has done so far. So we hope for the best with him. We're pretty confident in our map pool this time, I think, because of the 3-ban thing here. So you don't really have to play 7 maps here. You're fine with just like 3-4 maps, and I think we have like 4 really strong maps and 1 that is kind of on and off. So I think we're fine. I see ourselves as underdogs, not because our team lacks skill, obviously not, but because of the problems we had under the past time. We haven't really had that much real practice, but if everything clicks this event, I think we're one of the favorites for sure, but we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's hard to say who's the favorite in this tournament. Obviously G2 is one of them, but I think they're the only one probably that is like a clear cut. The rest of us are like on a bad day or a good day. We'll just have to see. If we make it to the major, we will switch a lot of structure in our team. Currently, I only think 2 people are playing their roles, and we've talked about it just before this tournament, but we didn't want to change like so close ahead to this tournament. But if we make it there, we will do a lot of changes, not player-wise, but role-wise and strategical.
Schneider with his view on their entry into the qualifier, of course, just filmed before they had their first 2 matches. They're at 1-1 right now, same as Cloud9. he mentioned a key point in there, that their map pool is kind of strong here, but strong not in sense of 7 match strong enough to get them through. But I don't know, it doesn't seem to be that deep at the moment, at least in terms of officials that we've seen anyway.
I'm not sure about my maths here, and I was told never to do maths on stream. But this system, you get 3 bans.
Yep.
GODSENT can like play 2 maps.
Yeah.
So you get more bans than the maps they can play.
Yeah.
So you should always be ahead of them.
Well, the funny thing about that, Yanko, is Cloud9 also a severely limited map pool. Their 2 favorite and most played maps are also the 2 favorited maps of GODSENT, Cash and Mirage.
Yeah.
What about Train? Surely they banned Train after yesterday's performance.
You would think so. I mean, GODSENT have played it 5 times before they came here and lost all 5.
Yeah, it's a great track record. I think it's a case of, yes, but we lost to VP and Envy.
Yeah.
The world's greats, especially online.
Yeah, I think the funny thing as well is that, I mean, with Cloud9, just right off the bat, I mean, there's 2 maps they've only played once, Overpass and Nuke. They've only played them once, they've lost both of them. So right off the bat, you have to imagine they're banning those. I mean, I think that's the funny part. This pick ban phase has to have been like a game of chicken, right? Where it's just like who's going to take the risk and leave something open. But they all,
No, sorry, I was just going to say, we're going to get to that map veto very shortly. But just on the lineup itself, Yanko, on paper, you look at it and you go, yeah, these guys should breeze through this.
GODSENT?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, the team has had serious issues. I mean, you heard Schneider in the interview saying they're just a bunch of kids, no discipline within the team. That's why Graham was brought in as that sort of a drill sergeant, right, to keep us in check pretty much. But that's way easier said than done. There's only so much control you can have without being in the actual server, without having like real authority. I think that's the problem with their old coach. He probably didn't have enough authority for them to listen to what he has to say. And sure, Graham may have that to an extent, being put in by Refresh, you know, which are the daddies of GODSENT pretty much, and you gotta listen to daddy. But I think that just in general, this team is beyond saving at the moment.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's funny. I saw my cast of them at the Mountain Dew League finals, and they had like a lot of arguments, a lot of disagreements, like during live matches, and even some of the games that they won, and you could tell it was affecting their play. They were very close matches to teams that were far beneath them. But even in post games interviews, like Schneider came up and he was just like, yeah, we just are not getting along, like personality wise.
I don't know like how many people realize this watching, but Jason, you can give your own thoughts on this. It is unreal how many times a game will end or a tournament will end or a practice session will end, and you will say, okay guys, you will have a team talk, and you will say, Twist, you're making these mistakes. Like, you pointed out to him, he sees it, he realizes it's a mistake, he nods his head, I will not do this again. You do the same with Dopplan, you do the same with Pronax, and everyone's like, yep, this is an obvious mistake, we will not do this the next time it happens, and that's it. And I said, oh great, this is going to be better next time. And then you go to the server tomorrow and the exact same things happen, and that happens over a course of a month even, that you go through that process all the time. Like, it's just incredible how much some players or teams or just within a certain roster composition of players are unable to improve or unwilling to just address their flaws.
Okay, we're going to take a look at the map vetoes. I mentioned to you, Jason, off air, someone's got to figure out, GODSENT, that they just ban Cash and Mirage against them and then they can win. And lo and behold, Cloud9 have done their homework.
That's unreal. I quite like that. It's about time.
Yeah. So we'll end on Train, which, you know, GODSENT will say, they'll probably argue, we're okay on Train. We've only been beaten by the best teams in the world, but they've lost 6 out of the last 6 on it.
Yeah, this is funny, though. I mean, this was the map that was very kind to them at the last major qualifier. Yeah. But, I mean, either way, regardlessly, they had different players, and, I mean, this is really dropped off. So that's not great. This is a map that Cloud9 has been good on in the past as well. It's not like any kind of world beater for them, but we have seen them have very good matches. It suits their style. There's going to be a lot of confusion outside for guys like Stewie, Automatic, Jordan to get aggressive and find some things. Skadoodle as well with the AWP. I mean, that's... I feel Cloud9 on this one, and for GODSENT, you do have to kind of scratch your head and be like, oh no. I mean, it looks like Cloud9 won the game of chicken.
I mean, it's also a map on which they just recently defeated Fnatic at ECS finals. Cloud9 did. So obviously, you look at this map, you just remember GODSENT yesterday versus Maus, and it's like, why would you ever go back to that? But the reality is, they have no choice. Like they only have 2, in reality, good maps, which are Cash and Mirage. Those 2 are banned. You cannot go to a Cobble or a Nuke. Those are the maps you don't really ever play, or you're only wondering about their probably only choice was between Inferno and Train. And I guess the thought process for them was two things. One, we lost so many ridiculous situations yesterday, 5v2s, 5v3s, 4v3s. If we didn't throw away those rounds, it would probably be a much closer game.
Yeah.
And second, Cloud9 is going to probably expect us to be to that map because of that performance. We know they're going to play it if we don't ban it. So let's just prepare specifically for them and anti-strat their playstyle because they didn't have enough time to change things, which in theory, of course, does make sense, but in practice, we'll have to see how it pans out.
Style-wise?
Style-wise?
Yeah, for Cloud9, I think this is
well,
good for them.
That's the big thing. They're going to, like I said, it's going to be a great map for guys to get very, very aggressive towards the bomb train and just swarm that up. But, one of the big strengths that they had in this map previously was, especially on their force buys, they do like a heavy ladder play. They just come swinging out ladder with the Deagles, and Stewie's been crazy in that kind of a situation. But I think a lot of it is going to be on the CT side, especially. I think it's, Skadoodle seems like, especially in the Americas minor, he seemed like that pillar at the outer bomb site where, he's the one that they kind of give time and create space for. The rifles on defense out there just keep as much space between Skadoodle and the opponents as possible and let him be the AWPer. He's very, very good when he's feeling in the zone and he gets dynamic and he can hide behind cover, much like Fallen. He can find the one-on-ones, use the ladder trains nicely. They just have to get there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of GODSENT, Janko, who are they looking here to step up and try and help them out of the hole that they're in?
I think it would have... You have to look towards the star players, Lekro and Twist above all. Disco Doppler maybe as an AWPer, but Lekro is a player who can be very dominant on the CT side, on that outside area. He plays like the side tanker pretty much, and he is a guy who, when he's on point, he just kills things. Like, people come into his crosshair and they die, and that's it. Similar to Bialy's play style, right, when he's on point. So that would obviously be very, very helpful against the chaotic style that Cloud9 brings. And Twist, just in general, a highly skilled player, didn't really see him perform all that much yet in this tournament. What GODSENT did well at the major, that Jason pointed out, they beat Astralis there in the best of one on Train, was the aggression, mid-round aggression towards Ivy, Pronax, getting a lot of information and so forth. And I think they would have to run a similar style because it also shows that they are confident, right? And they definitely need to be confident in this matchup against Cloud9.
I was going to ask you about the confidence. Does it relate to how they start in this game? If they go 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds down, does their heads drop? Do they fall off? We've seen that before from them. I know that's part of why Graham's in there to try and help that mentality side of things. And we have seen them, to be fair, even in this tournament, in the 2 short games we've seen, we have seen them cope with that quite well.
Yeah, more than just the score in itself, it's going to be the manner in which they lose rounds. If they start losing silly rounds again, I'm afraid that they are just going to, tilt and the game is going to snowball out of their control. But they need to find a way to prevent that from happening.
Well, how do they do that, though? That's not just a chat overnight and talking about what they did wrong, is it?
It's true. Like in this particular case, you probably want to try and be aggressive because that way you're taking the game to your opponents. You're the one dictating the pace of the game, and in a sense, it's more difficult to make those mistakes that way because there's going to be a lot of exchanges early on, and you're going to be the one making the play, so you're going to be the one who can expect what's going to happen after that.
Okay, HLTV has this one as a 71% win rate chance for Cloud9. Where are you two going?
That's probably about right. I'm taking Cloud9 in this one.
I'm going with C9 as well.
All right, okay. Unanimous decision on the board here as far as Cloud9 are concerned. They do head into this as favourites. Can they convert that and continue on their road towards the major? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team for Cloud9. Let's see whether they can get on.
Thank you, Mr. Red-Eye. GODSENT, the home of nightmares for... Sorry, Train, the home of nightmares for GODSENT recently, but I don't expect they will have a repeat of the 2v5s, the 3v5s that they saw yesterday.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those situations which you want to get out of your mind as quickly as possible. Hopefully we can see, as you say, a better result for them today insofar as, even if they are to have a tough game, not to give up situations where they're heavily at, in advantage. And of course, yesterday it was impressive that despite some of those situations, which I think to many teams would absolutely tilt everyone off the face of the planet, they're actually able to keep their composure. And again, I think this is large part due to the fact that the team believes in the team more these days. Since they got Messioso on board, it does seem to have been a positive change for them. So interesting though, Cloud9 really adept on Train, and we'll let the action do the speaking for us as we have the pistol round commencing. CT side for Cloud9, and GODSENT on that T side. They have opted to get utility here with a couple players. In fact, 2 Molotovs featured on both Twist and Pronax. That's fun.
Yeah, that's very interesting indeed. No smoke on Cloud9, so we'll see how those Molotovs play into this round. And I would assume one would be used in part of the execution as opposed to 2 being held post-plant. That would be quite interesting, but also means that if they did try to use both Molotovs post-plant, then it would seem likely that they would have pretty bad control of the bomb site, which is just as important, if not more, for CTs. Around A, waiting patiently. Skudidul has been left on Spindle in B with an angle on the high ground. He can try to hold the high ground for his team once this push comes in. So here are some flashbangs deployed along with the smoke. Twist and Pronax still with these mollies. Pronax using the first one. Twist holding on to his for the time being.
They're going really well, I think, for Cloud9 initially. Of course, GODSENT do get the bomb planted, but it's a man advantage for the Americans. We have this good dot planning connector now looking to see what's going on over here. No more CTs, but he has been discovered as well. So kind of an interesting spot. Oh, that's a nice one tap there with a Glock at range, no less. As we'll get Stewie, they're cleaning up things towards the B ramp, and it's looking really good here now for Cloud9, so they can get the defuse. Start off with that good economy. And GODSENT, okay, they did get the bomb down, which is always nice, but unable to hold on to things after that.
Nothing and Shrouds have untouched armor, so they get helmets for $350. Nice boost to that CT money. Starting off to a good, well, starting on the right foot. And that's going to allow Shroud to go for an M4 straight away. So, must be nice. Nothing will opt for FAMAS and full grenades. GODSENT, they got the bomb down. They've bought themselves 5 smoke grenades, so surely this is a play towards A to get a second bomb plant. Lining up. Schneider in main. Cloud9, no need to push forward and be aggressive in this round. We'll see if Cloud9 allow the bomb to go down or if they'll try to stop it. Sometimes the CTs will be content just playing making the safe play and going for the retake. Automatic spamming, just in case anybody's around the ladder room. So 1 minute 20. No smokes deployed just yet for GODSENT.
Taking it easy, aren't they? But is it futile, James? This is all futile. They want that bomb down, but will they be slaughtered? What do you think? Is there a slaughter incoming? I'm going to presume that you're going to say yes, James, because they have Glocks, they have no armor. It's going to be tough times. Already losing Twist as well. Was that? No. Oh my god, automatic. You are disgusting. Getting a nice wallbang kill there. It's always nice. One less smoke here. Still will be plenty though for the T's, as nothing will lay into them with his FAMAS. And the bomb cannot even make it to the train. Everyone dies.
No plants for GODSENT, but the AKs will still be out for the T side. Plant would have been great for grenades. They've gone 5 AKs, Dan. Look at the utility on GODSENT. They don't have even a smoke. They've got 4 flashes on T side of train and no smokes at all.
I think it's okay because I expect them to rush a yard, and I think they just want to play some AK-47 DM in the yard. I don't think any of the play really makes a huge amount of sense necessarily, but because you just want to get into these open spaces as quickly as possible. Your opponents still have SMGs, they still have the FAMAS here or there. Okay, Shroud with a very nice transfer there over by Ali with that aggression. And this is where you start to wonder, as Cloud9 make this look like it's an anti-eco, as though their opponents had no armoring, just Glocks or something. You start to wonder if GODSENT should have just tried to go with the AKs through T-Main, through Popdog together as 5, to play the... So then you can play together with your low utility, and you can play the long ranges with the AKs, where you have big advantages. But, of course, this is an amazing push from Shroud.
It's round 4, and GODSENT have 1 kill. That is one of the fastest buy rounds I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was, and if you consider that the team was split in like different places on the map too.
Yeah, great 2K from Shroud. I mean, that was a very difficult 2K to get. So
yep.
Credit to him for that second kill.
Yeah, I think you're often never seeing that second kill, to be honest.
3 Deagles, 2 P250s for the GODSENT team. 1 kill so far for the GODSENT side, and bear in mind, obviously. 4-0 looking very likely at present. There's nothing still rocking a FAMAS. They're going to be close to $10,000 per person in Cloud9 if no one gets dropped in this round.
Yeah, it's like, it's really unreal because Cloud9 want to concede a round at some point, and that sounds stupid. You know, why would you want to concede a round? But essentially, just the way that they're playing, they're going to be taking risks. They're going to be doing so, and if they win, that's going to be a bonus because a lot of the spots they're going to put themselves in, they would likely try to hold on to the FAMAS, the UMP, the MP7 as long as they can, because it just makes them so much money to do so. And then eventually, it's great because if your opponent is constantly just spending all their money and you lose that round and come in with a super strong buy, and in fact, not just one strong buy, but you've made so much money, if you lose that round and do a lot of damage, you have another strong buy, then you reset your opponent and you just get so far ahead. So everything really is a win at this point for Cloud9. And we'll see the AWP onto Skadoodle now here as well. They have actually gotten rid of a couple of the SMGs as they did lose a player or two. So
yeah, Stewie was UMPing. And away he goes. Top plan is AWP, no Kevlar, but at least GODSENT have grenades this time. Top plan, got to be careful going close because obviously no Kevlar, he could get annihilated by those grenades, which is why he pretty much has no choice but to go towards the boxes at the beginning of the round. Nice flash onto Skadoodle. Again, we've seen that position start to be abused all over again, and Schneider gets his first kill of the round, picking nothing off. Shrad will be keeping an eye on Ivy for the time being, and Automatic is close towards Popdog. Skadoodle being trusted with B, but again, there is a player on the high ground.
So right now, Disco has 2 kills. Snyder has 1 in total in this match. That's nice. We'll see if they can make it more now as they have a 5 versus 4. But these players of Cloud9 are pretty healthy. They have a very fast rotation from Popdog, as currently Stewie and Automatic are sitting there with a setup towards Team Main and Pop. And it's a great setup actually. It's, again, you can really easily defend those rushes towards A, and obviously you have fast rotation times. It's hard to say too many bad things about it, unless your opponents are pressuring alley with a lot of players. So here comes GODSENT.
Smoke's being deployed. Skadoodle missing a crucial shot. The Molotov might help. I don't know if it will go deep enough. By the way, GODSENT, they've got the bomb train. They are moving through. There are flashes, however. Skadoodle's got a nice angle, which will surely be picked, forced away by the flashbang. Man advantage for the team. Looking to increase its streak, looking for the spray transfer, but that was too much to ask. Skadoodle, surely he's going to go back on the high ground and flank from Schneider. He's going to be close to Automatic, but he'll get taken down in advance. And it's Skadoodle left only for a brief time. GODSENT get their first round on the board.
More importantly, they're actually starting to get some kills on the board as well. Obviously, those two things are somewhat related.
I think the round is more important than the kills.
It definitely is. So there we go, 4-1 indeed, but you can see that there's plenty of cash to be spent for another really optimal buy here from Cloud9, and we'll see what their approach is here. Obviously, we saw in one of those past rounds, Shroud going really aggressive on Ali. Will we get something similar here? He's alone towards Ali at the moment. We'll get maybe a fast presence in from GODSENT towards Popdog if they decide to go down there. In fact, 5 players are walking towards B, so looks like they will not consider Pop for now. Perhaps going for a contact play down onto the B bomb site. That is indeed what's going to happen. Skadoodle's covering the angle though, and the incendiary there from Stewie is going to make life somewhat complicated as they smoke it off.
Stewie, he spots the shadow, but Schneider is there with a fast spray. Oh my god, what an answer from GODSENT. Fast frags raining in, and that's a great boost for the team. That's great for the morale. We spoke about it in the previous match of GODSENT. It got torn apart by some of the advantageous situations they lost, but that is quite the statement to make to Cloud9. And Cloud9's money is not good anymore. You know, they had a good time, but it seems oh so long ago thanks to these 2 rounds of GODSENT. It's interesting, you often see a player spotting, a CT spotting the ramp, and he sees the T go jump past, and then they throw a Molotov down the CTs. But it's very rare you ever see a push come after that. GODSENT make it work. Often you'll find one player towards B on their own at the beginning of the round, maybe trying to exploit that GODSENT. Either way, they are catching up with Cloud9, who will buy once more.
And it's quite scary, well, it looked quite scary for Cloud9, or rather from GODSENT's perspective of Cloud9, that they were building so much money so rapidly as they were. And this is obviously pretty much the only way that you can really stop that. It's just start winning rounds immediately, get all the frags, don't allow them to save any guns. And Cloud9, it seems like almost a long time ago, it was all that promise, but they had the SMGs, they're building all that money. Sometimes when you see matches start like that, it actually just gets insanely out of control, and you see like a 10, it gets like a 10-1, 10-2 type scoreline before the T's can really get any rounds back. But thankfully for GODSENT, and also for our interest as viewers, who like those closer matches, GODSENT striking back very rapidly with those pushes. And now they're playing a slower pace. Just holding, seeing if Cloud9 are going to run any aggression. Not the case currently.
They've done a good job though of taking away all the utility of the CTs. They've got 2 flashes left, make it 1 as Nothing drops his utility. So 1 kill for GODSENT, but where are they headed? Lecro looking towards B, but they don't really have all the map control in the world. 38 seconds, and they're having to walk the bomb to their desired location. Pronex is in position to move through Ivy, which may suggest a fake, but again, GODSENT running the clock down. Stewie and Skadoodle waiting for a push towards B.
And here it comes once again. We have both Skadoodle and Stewie trying to stop this, trying to use those counter grenades as best they can to slow this down. So we get a run up to connector here from all the T's. Automatic finding a good spray down though to take down Disco, gets himself out of dodge. Now it's down to Stewie. Perfect position. Oh, he gave himself up, but still gets the kill. Oh, that flick is strong from Stewie. Really good accuracy there, so quick, but it's not enough here for the GODSENT side. They just had no time. That is a sad way to lose such a round.
Well, they had time. They bundled into the bomb site and focused on going through the bomb train site, well, the site into the other side, rather than planting the bomb. They left the bomb planter on his own without clearing the whole site, and then he got taken down by Stewie. He was simply waiting, playing the time game, which was not with GODSENT because they ran the clock down and then walked the bomb towards B. So I feel like that was more unforced error from GODSENT than it was anything else. And that's let Cloud9 keep control when they were about to lose everything, their money, their weapons. So you wonder if the nightmare is going to continue for GODSENT at this point. 5-2, both teams on the bye, but the money's low for both Cloud9 and GODSENT, so this is indeed a key round.
Yeah, really fast push down from a twist, gets the first frag, the trade comes in, and an upgrade had for nothing. So evening the playing fields up on the Arsenal in play. Stewie, how aggressive will he get? Again, the playmaker of the team, the guy that thrives with aggression. And you can see why as well. Like, he's so fast and so accurate with his shots that it's no surprise that situation suits him, going very aggressive, that is. Shroud is doing a pretty good job at the moment, holding down Ali's side, gets a pick off. Now GODSENT with 3 players left are in a position where they have to make something happen as a team. Stewie able to easily deal with Lecro coming in from an unknown angle. Now just 2, Disco and Schneider. Not playing together insofar as the positioning is concerned, but perhaps Disco can get a pick off, create some distraction to allow some space onto the bomb site for his teammate, but no, shut down by Automatic, too many places to look. Cloud9 looking good here.
Disco's position was crucial if Schneider were to plant the bomb on the A site, but as you can see, that option has been taken away, as have most of the GODSENT players. Schneider left alone, and a timeout has been called as Cloud9 move to 6 rounds. So it's a timeout for GODSENT on this eco. At least they've got 4 timeouts, you know. So it is an eco and they could use that to talk as well, but 4 timeouts you've got. That's not the end of the world if you use one here. But yeah, I do. It was an interesting push into B, which put GODSENT essentially in this position where he just kind of ran through at least 2 people, maybe even more than that, ran through towards connector without clearing the site. Skadoodle went 1 for 0, and obviously probably assumptions were made that Skadoodle was there on his own. But Stewie was lurking. Stewie was in the swamp. Popped out. Who's that dude who goes in the Killer Croc? That's the Batman guy who chills out in like sewers and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, 6-2, and the fourth buy from GODSENT are going to buy around this 1 AK of Schneider. But what they do, they've run the clock down on a number of occasions on their T side. It has paid dividends insofar as Cloud9 using up their utility, but then they haven't always had success afterwards. Pop Flash not quite working out there for Automatic, but he may move into main regardless.
It's such a strong position to be so forward. You get a lot of information, and you have that ability to even run flanks. Although Automatic will actually go back out of the T main position and hold an angle back in towards the bomb sites instead. And here comes the rush. A lot of success has been had here from GODSENT onto B. Once again, they'll try it. In comes Stewie. Only able to get one, though, as the bomb now can be planted. Good angle there. I think a tag from the AWP of Skadoodle. He will finish Schneider off as well.
Nothing knows that somebody went through the smoke, and he will simply wait for them. They've got a numbers advantage, which is compounded with that kill. Disco and Twist remain. Now it's Twist on the flank, but he doesn't have an angle to stop the bomb plant, and Nothing is looking for the flank. But looking for it from CT as well. Missing the deagle shots, and that is the round. You see the frustration on Twist. 7-2 in favor of Cloud9. 4 players surviving as well. That is glorious for the North American side.
So maybe it will be some kind of a 10-2 scoreline after all. Cloud9 are doing a great job in the defenses. And you can see when GODSENT are sort of pushed to a situation where they have to make a decision, and a desperate decision, they just think, okay, B, let's just hit the B bomb site, let's go quick, let's go together. And it hasn't always been working out for them. And it would be cool to see some more alley pressure from GODSENT, try to split the defense. Also, alley pressure is really good at pulling away any players playing very forward in the A yard, so it should help to free up any players you want to split off of, split with, sorry, for that triple-pronged attack. But we'll see, of course, just a pistol save here from GODSENT, and they will march to their doom, ultimately, in this round. So we'll see if GODSENT makes something up, considering that I would say that Cloud9 seem somewhat comfortable in holding a lot of these pushes. Right now, GODSENT just trying to get some extra damage onto the economy of Cloud9. And any kill in this round would be very, very valuable, considering that the money is not good for Cloud9 just yet. It's okay, but a couple kills would go a very long way into helping GODSENT recover should they win a buy round.
Since the beginning of this round, Skadoodle has been up a B, simply holding an angle, which is going to allow Cloud9 to keep the rest towards the A side, and maybe that deagle shot from Pronax will allow GODSENT to press on. But maybe it is indeed death by paper cuts for the T side in this round. Another bomb carrier, Pronax left alone, and Skadoodle deciding to reposition, but the USP will be enough on an eco round of GODSENT. 8-2.
So only losing a single player in the end in that round will keep the economy up together for Cloud9. They'll make quite a bit of money, and we'll get the buy round from GODSENT. So I'm looking to see a somewhat different approach from GODSENT, how they try to open up the rounds. Kind of an insane shot there from Pronax, to be honest. Very nice. I can't believe I did that. So what do we have here from GODSENT? So we'll get Pronax going towards Ali, but he's more or less covering for a push. Oh, that was so quick from Stewie. What a player. Stewie always able to get those openings for Cloud9. And now Cloud9 just have to play passively. They have the man advantage early on into the round.
It's a big frag as well, Lecro. The YouTube highlight man, the highlight reel for GODSENT. But often from very unfavorable positions, as is the score right now for GODSENT, 2-8 of Cloud9. Stewie, one of 2 AWPs on the map for Cloud9 at present. And he will wait at the back of B on his own. Cloud9 very focused on 4 players towards the A site for the most part. Feel confident in handling the retakes on B, and indeed it does seem that GODSENT will be headed towards the A site. There's the ladder room take. Dopplan waiting outside main, while the remaining 3 are around the ladder. But where are they ultimately headed? Seems that they're trying to play for a fake, but already a man down. Top lane moving through main might be an issue. Automatic moving close to the main area. So Stewie, does he spot somebody on the cross? Yes, Schneider taken down, goes for the re-peek, sees one either side, and it's a question of holding this map control for his team. And you see GODSENT trying to take it away now with what little they have. 5 on 3 retake, all at the back. There's another one that bites the dust. Top lane and Pronax. Pronax now to try and give some kind of answer to these kills of Cloud9.
Cloud9 unstoppable, however. They will take all the kills, losing not a single member. Right now, Cloud9 are absolutely beasting GODSENT. Absolutely beasting them. And it was another situation where, you know, GODSENT can get into a bomb plant, but you have to be able to take the yard. You have to take forward positions on the B-bomb side. Otherwise, you can get the bomb down as much as you want. Your ability to hold against the CTs is so difficult if you don't have anybody stopping them getting out with the choke points. And that was the opener there from Stewie. That was so important, because then you can see that GODSENT, they don't know, or rather they, again, it's that situation where there's some desperation. They don't know exactly how to open up the map, so they're like, okay, let's just use our 4 players, let's just rush into B, and once again, it's not going to work out for them. So we'll see if they have another approach here, as once again, we see a buy round with the max loss bonus on top of the bomb plant. They get $4,200, which is always going to be good for a solid AK buy, and that's what we see. Looking perhaps to go out into the A yard this round with a triple-pronged attack. Pronax working alley with the rest of his teammates towards T-Main and Popdog.
You do wonder where the hole is that GODSENT can exploit at the moment, because Cloud9 are very comfortable with one person in B. As long as they have the back of the bomb train, the retake is all but guaranteed for them. They've got the bodies in A. 4 people for GODSENT to fight against whenever they try to push in. Obviously, they had that round where they had AKs and only the odd flash and literally nothing else. This time they are better equipped. But again, they're playing the clock, GODSENT. And Cloud9 keeping a lot in the bag this time. They've got tons of Molotovs. They've still got 2 smoke grenades and obviously bags of flashbangs. So ultimately, what is the play from GODSENT? The dirty sky, polluted sky will be an audience to this push into A, it seems. Skadoodle holding angles towards main. More Molotovs are down, as indeed the CTs did keep their utility. Sprays are here, automatic nothing with 1 frag each, but they're answered by GODSENT, 3 on 3.
Stewie on the bomb side, will he be able to fire a shot off here? In fact, he's just going to go around to the other smoke. The bomb will go down, but it's a 3 versus 3. And Cloud9 are all hands on deck. And the deck is being swept by Cloud9. Just Lekro left so far with the AK, 14 points of health. Shroud's pretty weak. In they go for the challenges. Yet Lekro, another one from him. Even getting time for the reload behind the E-box. But in comes Shroud with 24 health. And a swift strike onto Lekro. Defused in for Cloud9. Another round for them. You can see that they are in good spirits. They have the momentum. And that was one of the closest rounds we've seen from GODSENT.
Yeah, very close indeed. And GODSENT, they've planted the bomb in 3 of the last 4 rounds, but to no avail. It is 6 rounds in a row for Cloud9 and counting. Lekro with some big frags there. And that's why it's so important. If you're able to pick off Lekro at the beginning of a round, you can see the output he is capable of there in that highlight. 10-2. You see Stewie hyping up the team. Very happy with the performance so far. So once again, Cloud9, 1 person B, 4 people A. But Skadoodle is moving in early, so it seems they have a read. Maybe GODSENT are finally fed up of the A site, and it looks like they might not be wrong. Twist and Lekro towards B. Lekro carrying the bomb as well.
Cloud9, they are mixing up their setup again. We see a return to the play from both automatic and this time nothing on the Popdog and E-box area forward in the A yard. GODSENT, are they just going to go contact again? They're just going to walk straight into B once again. We've seen this many times. It rarely works for them as they have no presence anywhere else on the map. They have a lurker coming in, which I believe is Schneider from the T-main area into A, but he'll be eliminated by Shroud, and in comes the, oh, he's going for the knife. Absolutely heinous stuff there from automatic. And perhaps it's a problem because now it's Disco with 2 kills. And 1 versus 2 has to get the quad to survive the day. The bomb is down. It's not been planted. It's just sitting there on the ground by the bomb train as Disco Dotplan tries to work his way into a fragging situation. There's a spot onto Shroud, but Skadoodle from the back. It's going to find Disco. And that'll be 11-2 for Cloud9 once again. These walks into B, man, we see it so often. I don't think it's almost ever worked for them.
Yeah, that setup is crushing by Cloud9, and it seems that Skudidal is positioned to AWP people at the back. Stewie standing in the bomb train. He can stop the T's from trying to charge through the site, but once there was a smoke between the first two sets of trains and the bomb plant is down, Stewie slowly edges out and sees no one's actually covering anymore. They don't expect him there. He takes out the bomb planter for free and then goes back to the usual nonsense. GODSENT playing quickly into the A site. Skudidal spotted somebody towards main. He's got a nice angle though on the one close as well. Sees an elbow and will answer back with Molotovs. GODSENT moving into the A site, but they haven't got far just yet. Automatic on the high ground, good for one frag. Got to be careful. There is a player, or was around the corner, but they've moved elsewhere.
Nothing, just going for it there on the bomb train, gets a lot of damage. Although not the second kill. Automatic's in position to help out though. And if you blinked, you would have missed it because we're left with 4 players, now 5 dead here for GODSENT. This has been a very fast game. A lot of quick rounds, a lot of bum rushes from GODSENT where they don't spend time trying to develop some map control, trying to take away Ali or pressure that position, also the CT rotation, play off of that. They seem to want to almost DM their way to success against Cloud9, but it's not been going so well for them.
If we quickly go back to Automatic's night, actually I'll do it in halftime, never mind, because there are AKs for GODSENT. A similar setup to a previous round where you said they should go fast when they only had flashbangs, but if you got even less this time, just 1 flashbang on GODSENT and 5 AKs, that is it. They need picks, they need, well, maybe they need GODDAT.
Oh, Schneider's going to go very quickly there into, well, in through Olofmeister and into the bomb train, taking 2 players down with him. Well, in fact, down with him. He's not even gone down yet, although his teammates have fallen, 2 of them at the moment. Twist and Pronax not having much fortune on this round as we see Schneider now making his way down towards Ali. Bomb is on the floor at the moment. And Cloud9 just sitting in very passive positions. They have the bomb train, they've got connector, they've got Stewie spotting around B. Cloud9 are waiting for GODSENT to make the move. GODSENT have 50 seconds to do it, so plenty of time.
GODSENT slowly creeping into position. All isolated at the moment, but it seems that Lekro will join Dopplan as Automatic starts to go for a push. Does that mean that they identify as B? It seems so because Skudidal has moved in, so Automatic checking the one position. Ooh, the off angle. He hears the footsteps. He doesn't want to reveal himself. 25 seconds. He can focus on stopping the plant from going down. And there is the bomb carrier. Looking for the second one. Can't quite get it. And now Skudidal's moved in. Missing the shot though. The bomb can get planted on the other side. Schneider will desperately try to cover for his teammate.
Yeah, GODSENT to count their blessings at the moment. Perhaps the round should be over, but there's some missed shots and there's opportunity now. Schneider picking up another kill. 3rd in the round and Lekro with the finish. GODSENT good for 3 rounds in this first half. Could very well have been much worse for them, to be honest. And what's a horrible situation to find yourselves in. You have to win the pistol or basically you're done. That's essentially where they are at the moment, entering this second half. And Cloud9, though, they know that any game of Counter-Strike, as long as, well, unless one team is on 16 rounds, it's not over. So they're going to be treating this very seriously indeed.
Going back to the knife from Automatic, I mean, in hindsight, you could say, oh my god, they almost lost the round, that was crazy. But again, it gives you a psychological edge if you're willing to do that in a match and just crush your opponent fully all the way through to the end. 12-3, and maybe that plays a part in the psyche of GODSENT Train, not their best friend in this qualifier so far. Smokes down, and it's GODSENT's turn to have 4 CTs in the site. Stewie going through with a flash completely blind, doesn't know where to aim, almost shooting his teammate, but the kill will come in for Cloud9 regardless. He's peppering now, looking for more. Schneider up on the ladder, exposed to the whole site, taken down.
This is very tough now, down 2 players already. Twist going to wrap around, looking for the headshot. Oh my god, just one bullet onto Stewie and he would have died, but it is instead going to be a situation that's somewhat being recovered here by GODSENT. Down to 2 players, but they've made it a 2 versus 3. Twist trying to win the 1 versus 1 against Skudidal. These players are so weak now for Cloud9. It's just Shroud with any points of health left. He's playing the position from Popdog at the moment, as we see GODSENT making their way in, getting the frags. Now it's down to Shroud, but he's against 2 players with 2 HP each respectively. Shroud surely has this one in the bag. Oh, that's what you had to do to win this round, Twist. Get that fast headshot. Shroud will never know quite how close the round was.
Pistol duels are absolutely crazy. When Cloud9 first went for the plant on the site, they saw a CT was close around the bomb train, and they just stopped. They didn't have plant pressure at that point. They had a double peek. If they didn't try to plant, they had numbers advantage in a number of fights, but just couldn't get the kills. GODSENT have been allowed back into this match. Only 4 rounds on the board for them, however. Lovely tap there from Twist, a crucial one, and cannot imagine that the mountains of pressure, the newtons of pressure that GODSENT must be feeling at the moment. 1/3 the score of Cloud9, but very much still in this match and have lots to play for.
Cloud9 just looking for a bomb plant in this round. Couple flashbangs, bum rush that B-bomb sites, get the bomb planted. If everyone dies, who cares? They have automatic with the Deagle to get frags, and let's have a look and see what he's up to. Of course, we have push now, all going from the top automatic, actually dropping down, and has the bomb as well with that Deagle, so he will get the plant for the team. So now they've done their job. Everything's fine. The bomb has been planted. It's all going to be about getting some kills as a bonus. That's 2 for them. Already an insanely good round for Cloud9. Could even get better here with the automatic, or the automatic alive with the Deagle still. And it's going to be just Stewie now. So perhaps the 2 kills is all they were going to get. Stewie will get wrecked by Schneider. But yeah, 2 kills, bomb plants. Can't be too sad about that.
You saw it happening, especially when Twist gets his bell rung towards CT spawn. Twist good for 3 kills in that round. A slight scare, but it's over now. However, maybe things only get worse. The AKs for Cloud9 and bags of utility thanks to that second plant. That's the downside of playing retake on the eco round of a T side, is that now they've got the bonus mining. What a stark comparison to that round from GODSENT, where again they had like 3 flashbangs and literally nothing else. Cloud9 are fully equipped going into this one. No sniper rifle for either side just yet. Lecro will continue with the UMP for now. And indeed, GODSENT will start with 4 in the A site, but Twist quickly rotating towards B.
Looking for that set piece execution into the A bomb sites. Cloud9. The rotation from the B players can be quick though from GODSENT, as they are playing really close with Disco and Twist towards that ramp in towards the Pop Dog area ultimately. Okay, so using these Molotovs to try to move any players playing close to Pop Dog here for the GODSENT side. Will this be a tell here for GODSENT? Because here comes the push.
Stewie with some great flashes for his team, spotting 2 players, taking down 2 players. Wall of smoke in the site as well can mean a very fast plant coming in for Cloud9 following those entry frags, and there it is. Super quick play, great execute from Cloud9. No answer just yet from GODSENT, still subject to all the grenades flying in from Cloud9. What an execute so far for the North Americans. More grenades coming, Plonax completely blind. Doppler and Twist all around the bomb train, and they don't have a single kill, GODSENT. They can't see anyone, nobody's showing. The grenade will yield 1 kill, but what can they do, GODSENT? Nothing.
Yeah, going back for the save. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, that's why, one of the reasons why Stewie is so scary. He's so quick, and if you have him just entering these situations, he's often going to do a very good job. 2 kills, and they were so quick there, out of the Pop Dog. Crippled, absolutely crippled was GODSENT after that. And then the post-plant positions that they had all the time in the world to take, they could just sit there, and then you can see GODSENT trying to come in. They're like, how do we tack into this? You need some level of chaos there. You need some level of delay from your A players, but if they both get just erased straight away in such a manner as this,
yeah, but
what can you do?
Credit to his team as well, flashing him in, putting him in position to do that in the first place. It's a team effort. Stewie, great gunman at the front. Bro fists all around. Now we're into round number 19. GODSENT still on the buy for the most part. Lecro's down to the Deagle. Maybe it's YouTube highlight time. No highlight for Stewie.
Yeah, Cloud9 trying to get play into the B-bomb site. There's a man on the train. It's Disco Doppler. And he will take down nothing. Another kill for him as well, as he is supported by Twist. And the round is seemingly almost over here. In fact, there you go. Another very fast round. Plenty of money, I think, on Cloud9 though to buy, or maybe not. Actually, it's just Automatic who can't buy, really. So do they offer a buy in this round, or how do they interpret this one? Obviously, they were just reset. So if they go for one save, they can maybe go for a hop by here and do one save, and then they'll have a good buy. But they're just going to buy up here, and Automatic will be on a CZ. How many smokes? Only 3 smokes and 3 flashes. So would imagine a fast round here into the A yard or something similar.
Shroud looking for a CT peeking connector, looking for a golden bullet to drill into a skull, but nothing doing there. Schneider and Ivy close. Schneider and Pronax, sorry, close to Ivy. Pronax spotting something. He needs help. He's going to get taken down. Schneider can respond, but only with the 1 kill. 3 on 3. The T's in control of Ivy. Skidoo spotting a CT on the side, but Lekra gets a kill regardless.
Yeah, down to 33 health though, as he starts to play more defensively on the bomb train. Scar's just waiting for an open angle. It's Automatic who might find it though. Unfortunately though, he can't get the kill. Fortunately for him, Skadoodle back to respond here. Able to pick up 1. Will he look at the off angle though towards Ali? It's a scary one, and no. Another round going the way of GODSENT. 7 rounds for them now. Cloud9 3 rounds away from winning this match, but they are really badly off on the money now, so it's going to feel like a very long time before they can even really challenge GODSENT again.
In 20 rounds, only 4 of them have been won on the T side. And of those 4 rounds, Cloud9 mustered 1 on their first buy round. So we'll see on the next one if they can get anything done. But for now, it's an eco round. Glocks, flashbangs. Perhaps expectant of a retake situation from GODSENT. Ooh, just charging in. Numbers game towards the A side. I thought they would have a repeat towards B of the second round, but no. They're going to be running in towards A with no grenades. I think the B player is the one there, but it's easy for me to say in hindsight. With complete vision and information. Cloud9 now, their lead has shrunk to 5 rounds. And we have a timeout coming in from GODSENT. Maybe discussing a potential approach from Cloud9 in this round. Cloud9 back on the buy. Most players for $4,500.
And I'm wondering if they'll go back to that round that was successful, where Stewie got the double entry, because even though you think, oh, Stewie got 2 entries, of course, they had a very successful round. What we also saw there is Stewie had a player right behind him who would have made that frag, the second frag, immediately on the trade. So the only thing that Stewie really had to do was to kill a blind player, the first blind player. So that might be another round that we'll see from Cloud9, as it was previously successful, and obviously it doesn't require a lot of grenades to really pull off effectively. Just need the AKs. Some good team play. Or will they try something new? That's also a possibility. Plenty of time, plenty of rounds to work with to find their groove, to find the answer.
Automatic blocked by the grenade. We saw some criticism of that from some other players this week already. I find it quite annoying myself. Automatic's teammate will save his bacon for now. As Cloud9 charge through the IV position, just looking to duel. They're looking to overwhelm this GODSENT team to attack from various prongs and try to make it hard for them to communicate, hard for them to win these duels. Skadoodle by E-Box, man advantage doubled for GODSENT for a brief time. 2 versus 3. Skadoodle sees a trajectory, but there's a rotation from Doplan.
Yeah, this is not an easy situation. I mean, the bomb is unable to be planted on the alley side, unable to necessarily be planted at this point anywhere because of GODSENT's presence. GODSENT playing the containment though, not pushing their positions, just waiting for Cloud9 to make a move. And Cloud9 taking it slow. Skadoodle trying to get some information here. And all he can really tell Shroud at the moment is that connector is clear. Shroud is looking for a frag, but these CTs of GODSENT, they know better than to peek in this situation. They want to be 100% sure that the players are on the bomb train, and you get to know that when you see the bomb is planted, there has to be somebody on that bomb train, and now they can start to move and shuffle around as they look for these defending Ts in this 2v3 after plant.
Twist, Ivy, Schneider joining him, Dopplan towards the ladder room. Did wonder if the Ts would try to make their way into Connector and go for a boost, considering where the bomb's planted, but perhaps not. Shroud now 1 versus 3. Can he do it for his team? 2 from Ivy. Again, he's got protection from the ladder room. Time is being wasted here. The 180, can he stay alive? He's down to 7 HP, can't do it. Not this time. Round number 9 for GODSENT. The plant is there, however, for C9, so they'll get some bonus money. And if he had stayed alive for maybe 1 second more, or 1.5 seconds, they'd probably win that round. But there was just enough time to defuse the bomb.
I almost saw Shroud actually making that second kill too, and then the last player left alive, he was on the other side of the bomb train and had maybe like 10 HP or something. So yeah, that turned out to be a pretty winnable round for Cloud9, but alas for them, they did not do it. So on to Tech9s. We see 2 of those, and a CZ on automatic, Galil, and an AK-47. As we see a full pretty much a force buy on Cloud9. It's close enough. Nothing down to $100, Shroud down to $700. The money's not all that consistent between the entire team, so that's a bit odd. Either way, we'll see if this round, or the plan of this round, can be a success. Disco, he waits at the bottom of the B ramp. Next to him, Twist. Waiting patiently there for the player to come into the bomb site. It's all about these fast entries.
If this fails, I do wonder if C9 will go back to their execute on A. Which was, GODSENT didn't really know what to do against. They will hear the grenades being primed, GODSENT. They'll be ready for it, and that will help the Molotov go down, delaying the timing of Cloud9. Will there be more grenades from the CT side? They're putting a third person here, Electro, making his way through the smokes. In the meantime, Streets landed on the floor, almost getting the kill there. Shroud only good for 1, make it 2. Twist with a very crucial frag, but the trades are instant. CT's now behind the smoke. Schneider taken down from the back to 2 versus 1. Pronax around that connector position as the bomb gets planted.
Yeah, good nade onto the bomb train there as he does significant damage to nothing. But Pronax, he's got to guess right every time here, and it's so difficult to do so. And you can see Shroud finding the angle in time to take out Pronax. It's so difficult in Pronax's position there, so incredibly difficult. And we'll see a round for Cloud9. It's been a while. It's been a while since we really saw a round from them. In fact, a good 4 rounds in a row for GODSENT it was. So 14 there for Cloud9. Now, the question is whether they do indeed go back to that outside play, as you just mentioned, which they could very well try to do this round to break the economy of GODSENT. And were they to do that, that's basically game. If Cloud9 win this round, it's basically game because GODSENT will have no money remaining.
Schneider will start with AWP in this round for his team. Pop flash, allowing Pronax to make his way through with the UMP, but opportunities are not quite there for him. Looking for close quarters with his SMG being denied. Dopplan playing B on his own. And Cloud9 don't know if there's an AWP, where the AWP is, if there is one. Pronax going back towards Ivy. He's in the middle of it at the moment. Schneider can offer support quickly. However, they may concede map control in order to do that. He was pretty close, Schneider, but not quite hitting the mark. 1 minute for Cloud9.
Looks like it will be the outside play indeed, although not as much emphasis towards Pop Dog. In fact, right now we have Shroud and Stewie just investigating the secret area, the B positions. And their teammates will throw all the nades in towards the A bomb site now. The bomb is with those players by the dumpster as well. Should be going for the play here. This is a big one. We see Lowell doing great work here yesterday against GODSENT. Not to be though. Perhaps GODSENT have learned their lesson from Lowell, and the bomb will make its way into the A bomb site. We're standing on top of the train. Large, but not in charge, as Skadoodle goes for the plants.
Molotovs flying around the map. Nobody covering Ivy, but he'll go for the plants anyway. Pronax close to stopping Skadoodle, but he couldn't quite do it. We've got CT on the high ground as well. The call's being made for Cloud9. Skadoodle sees everything, going for a 3-man spray down. The garden hose is out, but he'll do the job for the most part, leaving Automatic alone. 1 versus 1. With all that noise, how can you have any idea where Automatic might be? Doplan could be going for the hero defuse. Automatic, no idea. Pulls the knife out to walk a little bit faster, but not believing that he's really going for it. And if he commits Doplan, then might take Automatic a while. Straight in the head. Straight in the head. And that keeps Cloud9 off of game points, match point even. GODSENT make it to double figures. Only 4 rounds behind, and they've broken the money of Cloud9.
That was actually an insanely fast shot. You very rarely see the shot landed in that situation so fast, straight onto the head. And if you imagine that he misses that shot and you get Automatic peeking back behind cover, there's no time to defuse then at that point. He actually just has to make the shot at that point. That's so incredibly clutch. And this will keep GODSENT in the running now for actually being able to win this game. Whereas had they lost that round, it likely would have been all over for them. So still a lifeline being held on to by GODSENT. We'll see once again the grenade sailing into the A-bomb site. Shroud has nothing, or rather, actually, who is with Shroud? It is Stewie, who is with Shroud by Popdog. And out goes Stewie. Can't find anything, but the smokes are down, and the T's will be in the bomb site soon enough.
Bomb is dropped, so Stewie will be the man to try and plant it, but the Molotov could stop him, as he is sticking out of the smoke a bit. So they're having a good time with this execute Cloud9 to get the bomb down. Automatic not having a good time with that P250 though, and that is the T's cleared out. But again, the bomb plant with ease gives them bonus money, gives them a bigger armory with which to attack in these coming rounds. Now, again, we saw that great execute from Cloud9 into the A site. They've done similar grenade executes and used it as a fake, which turned around back in towards A. But I do wonder if they will truly go back towards that execute. Once again, 3 rounds, GODSENT making it mighty close. Only 2 rounds have been won for Cloud9, and there have been 5 defuses for GODSENT.
The AWP has found its way into the hands of Skadoodle though, and I wonder if this will change the style somewhat of Cloud9, if they'll take it slower or not. We haven't seen a huge amount of picking from the Cloud9 side just yet. They have been trying to use their numbers, use their grenades to get into position, and then force battles that way.
Well, the early rounds of the T side, they were just going for duels, but it just didn't work out, man. Did not work out.
So whereas Skadoodle going in this round, seized by T-Main at the moment. Waiting for all the counter grenades, or the pre-nades, that is, before going for a peek. And of course, Lekro is just staring at the T-Main angle. It's a passive approach here from Cloud9. Passive towards Ali, passive towards T-Main, and so far also passive towards Popdog. GODSENT running the 2-man B setup as well, close to the ramp at this point. One would imagine that as the ramp progresses, as time runs lower, that setup would likely take 1 man back or position more defensively than this. But now we start to see nothing going towards Ali for the challenge.
1 minute. Pronax pushing, maybe trying to catch a play with a grenade in his hand. The gamble didn't pay off though, and perhaps that's given a window to Cloud9 somewhere. Schneider and Twist moving towards Ivy. They've only seen 1 player. That said, Stewie's on the way as well. 40 seconds remain as Schneider announces that there are CTs around the Ivy position. Cloud9 playing it very slow. Shroud perhaps trying to set a fake towards the B bomb site. Doplan's on the high ground. The Twist is rotating, as is Lekro as well. Schneider's on his own towards A.
Another entry frag from Stewie, erupting from that alley area. 3 left for GODSENT as they scramble into the bomb sites. Lekro just flames everywhere, has to keep running and runs straight into the barrel of Stewie's AK-47. A 4 versus 2 here for Cloud9 as they sit on the bomb. Not too much here for GODSENT to do, and they should likely think about saving these guns. Their money is not good. They need to save 2 guns here, they really do, to have a full buy in the following round. Or maybe even, okay, how's this going to work out?
To have a fighting chance, I think we can leave it at that.
That is a very good point, yeah. So Cloud9 up to 15 now.
Man, they got sold that fake like they were in Egypt. Match point coming the way of Cloud9. And there it is. So let's see what GODSENT have to offer in what could be the final round of Train.
I think one of the interesting things about these two teams is I believe this is the first time they've ever encountered one another in the LAN setting. I don't think they've ever played each other. I read it on the tweeters.
So I read on the tweeters that I should have said Pascal instead of Newtons.
Really?
When I was talking about pressure earlier on. But in science, I met my first girlfriend, so I was not paying attention. I think it's fair to say. Timeout from GODSENT has just expired. They've managed to get an AWP out, and it seems that Schneider will be wielding it again with Doplan on the AK-47. That has been collected from our previous rounds. Last chance saloon for the Swedes.
So here it is. It's all on this. AK on Disco. The rest of his teammates also with the rifles. Schneider on the AWP. So a really good buy actually for GODSENT to try to make this work. Oh, might have a faster round here potentially from Cloud9. Get a lot of presence towards that T main area. And GODSENT not really emphasizing anybody too close to those positions. See, Electro is the closest amongst those GODSENT players. And he's got to be careful he doesn't get picked off by Skadoodle as he tries to look for these information plays. It's going to be Skadoodle with the first frag though, taking down Schneider. Electro trying to trade. He can't do so though. Automatic is covering Skadoodle. Brothers in arms.
Great rifle support. So now Pronax here is coming for a piece of the action. Standing in the smoke. GODSENT left with nothing to do but gamble. Spotting each other, automatic crouching, not quite getting the kill however. And now Pronax is trapped. Skadoodle has more support though. Nothing is there, avoiding the flashbang, and now we're on a 4 versus 2. GODSENT tried to even the numbers and it didn't work out. Things are yet more imbalanced.
All Cloud9 have to do is to move in as 4 onto the A-bomb side. Or they could decide still to go towards B together. Those are the two choices. Just do, like, whatever you do, just stay together in this position and trade your way to success. Trade your way to another win here at the major qualifiers. Cloud9 actually splitting up, going down the ramp in B is Shroud, trying to cause distraction, trying to perhaps cause some rotation of one of the two players remaining. But Twist, meanwhile, is just going to take down nothing in the A yard, and now things could get a bit awkward. Twist can still cause problems here with that AWP of his as he goes for another kill, but caught on the jump. It's now down to Disco.
Huge frag as there was less than 10 seconds to plant that bomb, so that was essential. Doplan alone makes its way through. Double peek is possible. Almost. Stewie, his vision is obscured in that boosted connector position. He needs Doplan to come a bit deeper, and Skadoodle will try to bait, jumping off now. More time wasted for Doplan. He does have a kit, but he doesn't have any more health. 16 to 11, Cloud9 take it over the line. T side proving difficult for both teams, but ultimately Cloud9 did enough. GODSENT, much better performance than their previous training, I think it's fair to argue, but ultimately it will be another loss in the L column.
Yeah, and it does seem like the T side for GODSENT has been their issue, not only here today, but also yesterday against Mouse Sports. They also struggled here. I mean, Train is generally a good map for GODSENT to have big results. Their CT side can be quite strong, but as you said, here today, Cloud9, they played really well. We saw some great rifle plays actually from Skadoodle, which is always fun for me to see when you have that dedicated AWPer. You're in a round where, okay, you know, you could maybe get an AWP on him, but actually the kind of round you want to run, it's better to have 5 rifles. And on Train, you can have lots of spots like that as the Ts, and he did a remarkable job in one particular situation, getting a 2K on the spray. And so far, yeah, just good to see Cloud9 in good form here today. Yeah,
Cloud9, we saw the interview and some comments. They went into that one pretty confident and came out of it even more confident with a great win.
I think one of the big things as well is really where are GODSENT going to land in the future, because coming into this event, it did really feel like, you know, pre getting a coach, they weren't in a position where they had much confidence to draw upon, and we didn't know what was going to happen to the team. But perhaps I should leave such discussion in the hands of our very intelligent and handsome analysts. Over to you guys.
I don't know about that, Dan. That's a big exaggeration, isn't it? Well done. Cloud9 do manage to come through their mid-tier match today. They now go to 2-1, one game away from making yet another major for Cloud9. But it's all sorts of problems for GODSENT right now. They're at 1-2. They need both of the last 2 games tomorrow in order to make another major. We're back with our panel members once more. What did you make of that one this time around from Cloud9?
That was quite cool. I mean, the CT side obviously really nice, but I mean, the positive, this is one of the first times I can think of in like recent memory of where Cloud9's like fast-paced style was stopped, and then they adjusted and were able to grind the necessary rounds out.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't have too many to go for just because they had such a strong defense. That was mostly, you know, Automatic and Stewie. You know, I mentioned those guys outside create space for Scooter to feel comfortable with the op, but I mean, they did more than that. They just dominated all the attacks. Whenever there were any smokes laid down, they found one kill over it. Stewie switched. That switch into the AWP for him was so deadly. GODSENT couldn't get a read on that. So those two had great games. But, I mean, just you also have to mention Shroud had a magnificently impactful game. He had some huge rounds. I mean, you think that force buy, that half buy that they did towards the inner bomb set, he gets 4 kills in that round. Big time. The clutch he had outside, it was a big-time performance from him.
Yeah, you know, we've been asking where he's been, and he's definitely shown up in this one. Janko, in terms of the way GODSENT approached this, we said if they got off to a bad start, it would be a test of their mentality. They did get off to a bad start. Still got a couple of rounds early on, but then towards the end, like just picking that one extra round up gave them a little bit of hope when they switched over.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I think they lost that first gun round in a matter of 15 seconds or something like that. You were wondering, wow, is this going to be another snowbally game? But then they win 2 gun rounds in a row with a pretty cool like B execute. You could see that everyone knew what they needed to do. No one got overextended. They got the entry kills, and it was great. But after that, it was 1 or maybe 2 crucial rounds that they lost. It was where they had an advantage yet again. The round where we saw that Stewie was hiding in the inner bomb site, and for some reason, GODSENT pushing, they decided to all push lower ramp before securing the site and planting the bomb, actually, and that cost them that 1 round. They had 1 player saving. Same thing happened in the following round. They were running out of time, and that forced them into a weird economic situation, right? Because you have an AK armor, you probably want to buy behind that, but it's not a pretty good buy, so your options are limited in terms of what you can do in the round. Maybe you don't have something in place for a round like that, and that's what gave Cloud9 all the momentum going back into the end of the first half, basically.
MVP for this one is Automatic. You already pointed out that he had a great
phenomenal
game.
Yeah, 105 ADR as well, on top of just kind of the impact kills he was getting in some of those executions. So that was really good stuff. I mean, there was round, it was really cool. GODSENT throws those smokes outside, and he just climbs up on the back of the train and peers over the smoke and gets 1 kill. Now, that's a little bit of like a lapse from GODSENT, not having like really any bodies out behind those smokes or whatsoever. No one to trade. There was only 1 player out there, but still, I mean, those are the kind of like mini aggressive plays that he just makes that are so good. And I mean, you see he's got great cohesion with his teammates. Him and Stewie had a couple rounds where during an execution it was, you know, pop flash through, and they both went through the smoke together and rounded things up. So very versatile player.
Doesn't always work, does it? But when it does, looks very good.
It's all about the timing of when you do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And from GODSENT's point of view, Janko, where does this leave them? Because it was a better performance, wasn't it? James said in the commentary, it's a better performance than they had yesterday on train, but it's still not good enough.
Yeah, definitely. I think the big problem was obviously that first half. I wish they had more patience in some of those rounds, maybe took an extra timeout, because, you know, the rounds that they did win with a normal buy, they looked really good. So instead of just forcing so much and falling into that trap, tunnel visioning the economy, maybe they should have taken a breather and said, okay, our gun rounds are actually working. Let's try to have as many chances as we can, because, you know, in some of the rounds, 1 gun round, for example, was the Stewie one with the AWP, where he just gets the 2 entry kills, and basically the round is over right then and there. And those things are going to happen when you play Cloud9. Individuals are going to step up, so you need to give yourself as many chances as possible.
Okay, and let's check in with one of the Cloud9 players right now. I think Jordan is in the player area. Good afternoon, Nothing. Congrats once again. You're at 2-1. I guess that was, you know, mission objective for today complete.
Yeah. We, you know, ever since we've seen the GODSENT roster, I think most people view them, it's like the Fnatic junior team. You see Pronax. Obviously, their skill isn't very junior, but that's kind of the perception, right? They have very good players, but we kind of knew their pace would be a little bit quick. And I don't know if you noticed, but like very first gun round, we kind of decided to put that back at them.
Yeah, and, we did notice that.
Yeah, so
it was over in about 15 seconds.
That's quite nice.
I mean, talk about the plan, because you come in. We all know that you're very, you know, you can be aggressive, you can be in the face. You seem to mix it up a little bit today.
Yeah, well, I think when we're on our best, it's not just one person calling on CT side. Obviously, Stu's leading T side, but sometimes our CT sides get flat when not enough parties are taking accountability for their area of the map. So I think that first gun round, like 3 different parties had an idea for a play because we had the economy. So it's like me and Mike did something, Ivy, Tim and Stu did something, Tyler was ready to back them up. So like there's like options for what they did, and I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, and in terms of where you are right now as a team, obviously bouncing back from a defeat yesterday against a very good G2 side, obviously. Very important today as you look forward now. Is this straightforward? Do we just look at Cloud9 and go, yeah, they're pretty much there now?
Well, I mean, we don't do that. That's your job. Our job is to our job is to play every opponent like they can beat us. And, you know, I don't think we're in the best place we've ever been as a team. So I think we have to stay honest and, like Jason said, keep up the basics, communication, talk about things, stay focused on our strengths, and whoever's at the top or bottom of the scoreboard doesn't really matter as long as we're doing those things.
Okay, Jason's alongside. Got any questions?
Yeah, I mean the T side you guys had when it slowed down, sometimes that scares me a little bit, if I'm honest with you guys. But one of the things that helped you out immensely with some of those executes was you guys had a couple great rounds with like perfect flashbangs that really blinded your opponents, allowed you to get those entries. Is that a part of like Stewie's process? You said yesterday he's more prepared than we think. Is that Stewie putting in the work to kind of develop those flashbangs? Is that maybe some working with the coach?
Well, it's a bit of Soham too, our Valens, because like we knew they had 2 setups based off either an upper back 6 or an upper inner, and our slow play in this game actually felt pretty comfortable. I know what you're talking about though. In some games where we don't really find kills and it looks like what's next, and we're all kind of just like, and so. In this game, I actually felt pretty confident. One of the late rounds we lost, we probably should have won. I think, you know, some of the natural tendencies of like Shroud and Tyler were a little passive, and they probably should have taken control. Like, right, I think we got up Ivy, we traded Ivy, and then we didn't really capitalize on the one-guy bomb chain, even though we knew the Opera's old bomb. Like, we were just waiting for him to peek us. That's where you got to take the fight to him and take that ground while the Opera's not able to help. So, like, I felt pretty comfortable in the foundation of our slow play. We just didn't close the round how we should have.
How confident were you coming into the game, into the map, Vito? Because when you look at it, it seems like ban Cash, ban Mirage, and there's really not much that GODSENT can play at a very high level.
Yeah, we were pretty confident. Knew it would probably be Inferno or Train, and we were ready for both.
Cool.
Nice. All right, that's nice and short and sweet. We'll
I mean, just
unless you got one more.
Can I do a follow-up?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, do you guys have? I know you guys have kind of a little bit of a limited map pool. Did you feel pretty confident in whatever map it would have been? Because I mean, Cash and Mirage are also your 2 most played maps. I mean, was that something where you were just kind of like rolling the dice with it a little bit, playing chicken, or?
I don't know. I mean, that's Stu in the veto, so maybe maybe we need to convince him to do an interview once.
Definitely do that.
I'll get Jason to come out and sort him out when he's free.
Exactly.
Thank you very much for joining us, Jordan. Congrats on the win today.
No problem, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
Cloud9 then are safely into the 2-1 position, which they were craving today after going down against G2 yesterday. We'll just wrap things up. We've got another big match to look forward to very shortly, but just final thoughts on this one. GODSENT go down into that very dangerous pool of teams now tomorrow, where they're going to have to fight twice. I mean, that's the point tomorrow. They have 2 matches tomorrow if they want to get out and go to the major.
Yeah. I mean, the big issue is they're going to have a problem no matter who they face against because of the map pool. I mean, if any other team comes in and just says we're just going to ban Cash and Mirage, which if you're any other team that potentially plays, that's the
Got to look
gameplay,
at that, haven't you?
Yeah. So I mean, they're going to be in some trouble there because there's no real third map that you could look at and say we're confident they know how to play it.
Yeah, okay, final thoughts?
I agree. That's the glaring problem for GODSENT because, you know, if they end up again on a map like Train, sure, we haven't seen them on Inferno, but you would imagine that their playbook is not that deep, so they have to play a game almost flawlessly or with a very limited amount of mistakes, which, you know, seeing as how they did perform throughout the tournament, you are very questionable about the possibility of that.
Okay, thanks very much, gents. We are going to move on, of course. We've got 3 more matches left today, 2 of which will decide the places in the major. That's right, 2 spots up for grabs today. 8 in all, of course. We've got 6 more tomorrow, but the top teams will be in action next up. It's as close as you can get to an esports derby. It's Penta versus Mouse is next.
Coming up next, Penta versus Mouse.